This is not my best hour.
Philippa,
Hello.
where you gone?
Everybody.
Where have I
Oh, there
gone?
you are.
So you can probably see from the view behind me,
Oh, hang on.
that I
Oh,
am
no.
up on the walls of the Tower of London. White Tower there.
There's the White Tower behind me. And Catherine, what have you got behind you? No, she's gone.
She's gone.
Okay. Well, we tried.
We lost her.
We've lost her already. Go for it.
Thank you to those who are watching. I don't know if I need to do the disclaimer because I think we're going to try and keep it relatively
we'll keep it clean for
PG-13
today.
as we are in public. But we are here on the 19th of May, which is the anniversary of the execution of Anne Boleyn. From where I'm standing, I can see the Scaffold Memorial site, which is where Catherine is. Hopefully she'll rejoin us soon. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the, I suppose, pinnacle, if you will, of Anne's career, a lot of which would have been seen on this river. Because when she came here in 1533 to prepare for her coronation, it was by boat. And so she wouldn't have been alone. There would have been all of the great and the good, the lords temporal and spiritual, all joining on their various barges. And when we talk about those barges, we are thinking about the most beautiful, highly ornate, decorated barges on offer. So we are thinking cloth of gold, cloth of silver, people in their finest outfits, all coming down the river. Some of those barges would have had entertainments, so music playing. So for the Londoners on the South Bank and surrounding the tower, they would have been very aware that something very important was happening. And bearing in mind, in the months preceding it, there had been an enormous set of works that had gone on here. The royal palace had been refitted and redecorated. By the Byward postern, a new gate had been put in. The stairs going down to the river, which Anne would walk up, had also been strengthened. And 4 onion-domed monuments had been put on the 4 corners of the White Tower. So the tower itself had changed in preparation for Anne's coronation and her arrival. As she approached in this barge, flanked by all of these people, the Londoners would have seen Henry VIII stood on the gun wharf, just by the Byward postern. As the barges approached, there would have been a gun salute. The cannons of the tower would have gone off. So anybody who by this point was not out of their house looking would presumably have gone out to have a look by then. And what they would have seen is Anne exiting her barge, accompanied by some great and the good of the nobility, who would have taken her to the king. Henry then, in public, kisses her on the wharf, embraces her, and takes her into the Tower of London, where they spend the next 2 nights celebrating before she is taken in a litter, horse-drawn litter, to Westminster, where she is crowned with St Edward's crown. And if you watch the coronation, you'll be aware that St Edward's crown is the crown we use for monarchs, not consorts. The last time that crown was used, it was placed on the head of Henry VIII in 1509, and it comes out again in 1533 for Anne Boleyn. This visit is, of course, also the first time that Elizabeth comes to the tower. Bonus points if you can figure out where Elizabeth was at that point, because it is, of course, the fact that Anne is pregnant with Elizabeth. And so I've often wondered if, rather than being a show of respect for Anne and a mark of his love for her, that what Henry thinks he is crowning with St Edward's crown is not Anne, but the boy he hopes is in her belly.
Good point.
Of course, 3 years later, in 1533, Anne will make the same journey by river on a barge. There will, as she is a royal person, guns will fire. She'll come back through the Byward postern for an entirely different ceremonial occasion. And I think I'll hand over to Philippa to talk about that.
Okay, cool. So, yes. So 2nd of May. Yeah, I'm right, I'm on. 2nd of May, 1536. Anne is brought by barge from Greenwich up to the Tower of London. And like Kat says, she's brought in exactly the same way as she was 3 years earlier for her coronation. and she's taken to the royal apartments, which is the. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you. They don't exist any longer. Excuse me. There we go. But they were around this area, and they had been renovated for Anne's coronation. She had enjoyed a banquet where she had presided over. Henry had watched. He hadn't been in the hall. And the hall, if you can see where the shard sticks up, and you can see archways underneath and a hedgerow. The Great Hall was in that area. Again, nothing of it survives. And then in 1536, Anne is brought back. She's in the royal apartments, which, like I say, are somewhere where this grass begins now. And she is tried. So her trial and that of her brother, George Rochford, isn't held at Westminster Hall like the other men. It's held here in the Great Hall. And it's supposed to be of, you know, her peers. So it has to be other nobles. This is why they're not taken off to Westminster Hall to have their trial. It's different. But it does also mean that when Anne came here on the 2nd of May, she's never left from that point. It is from, well, actually, I was about to say it's from the royal apartments here that she is taken up to the scaffold site. But there's actually talk now that there could have been a house around about, you see the sort of a red brick house and a brown brick house behind, that there was some sort of building there that she could have been held in as well. But either way, she makes her way around the White Tower up to the scaffold site. So, Catherine, do you want to take over? Oh, she's gone.
Catherine's gone again. I wait for her to come back as the guest.
Okay.
So
I'm going to take a little walk
from here. Okay, so yes, there was a complex. So we've got the royal apartments here. Coming out from the White Tower, you can sort of see the ruins of the Wardrobe Tower. So it would have gone like this, all the way down to the Lanthorn. The Great Hall is down here. This was a complex, and then there's Cold Harbour Gate. So it's thought that if she was held in those rooms, she would have come across here through Cold Harbour Gate and round to the scaffold site. Where the scaffold site is marked now is a kind of memorial to all of the people. I think Catherine's back, so we'll let her add.
I'm going to take a walk up there as well, just in case.
So tell us what the scaffold's like, Catherine.
I am moving to see if I can get a better signal. Get a better signal because it keeps just cutting out up there. And only me, obviously.
Well, I'm going to walk up. You can see I'm walking up. So I've got the White Tower on the left of me. So I'm going the other direction around the tower to how Anne would have done. But that's because you can't actually follow the route. Oh, excuse you. Bless you. Can't you walk the route that she would have walked now? And we have the Waterloo Barracks on the right-hand side. That's where the crown jewels are kept. And the White Tower on the left. Catherine, have you got enough signal to carry on?
They're very popular today.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so. I've come to the other side of the White Tower and I appear to be okay now.
Okay,
yes.
Go for it.
So, yes. So, I've got St Peter Advincula behind me. So, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes,
very
we
well.
can.
Okay, so, yes. We're just going to mention Brick. No, it's gone. Have I gone? Because it's telling me I've gone.
We've got you.
Here.
Am I gone? Or am I here?
No.
Oh, okay. It's telling me I've got no network connection. It's almost like it's me. Okay. All right. So you've got me. Okay. All right. So behind me, I have got the chapel. In front of me here, I'm just trying to move around to get a good signal. So you can see here the amazing queue with the crown jewels in the barracks. So that we have been seeing it. We have seen it worse. It's very
This actually isn't too bad.
What I did just spot, and I don't want to wander back down there again to show you, is the King's new insignia on top of the building. But I don't walk back down up there again. So
I'm here. Let me see if I can do it.
No, that's what I mean. It's just like it could be worse. I always think about that time that we came and there was no one here. So, okay, so at where the parade ground is here, it's commonly thought that that actually was. If I turn around, it's behind me. That actually was where the scaffold was erected for Anne. And so it was more like, in fact, that she was in fact beheaded along here in this private area. So in fact, if we go down to the chapel, okay, so if I walk down here, isn't it beautiful? So there's the parade ground and the jewel house and everything behind us. So that's where the scaffolding would have been erected. And it's supposed to be a kindness to have had that private execution, isn't it? Because as we all know, Henry was all heart. He was. So down here, oh, there's a raven. There's a raven. So there we go. Here is the memorial. It won't let me turn it round to face the other way. That's why I'm struggling here. But here is the glass memorial. So it's quite often people think, and there's people visiting it now, and I don't want to go particularly and interrupt their moment because some of them are looking quite pensive. But that because of the glass pillow that's on there, people often think that that is the site of the execution. And in fact, that is the memorial there, and it's very beautiful. We can always take some pictures, can't we, if we want to, when we come round. And then just behind us here is the chapel, Peter St Advincula, and so that is where the Anne is supposed to have been laid to rest in apparently an arrow chest, because nobody, which seems unbelievable, but had thought to prepare a coffin for an about to be executed queen, which is really a mark of the lack of respect, I suppose, isn't it? And how little
Well, I
in
think
the
it's
end
supposed to
she
be.
was thought of when it wasn't convenient anymore. So there
No, I
we
think it's
go.
supposed to be more
Well, it's a
the
beautiful day. How are we getting on, ladies? Oh, it keeps telling
Right, I
me
think the
I'm
arrow
lost,
chest.
which I already knew.
Okay.
But I think it's talking about my network connection. Philippa, where are you?
I'm right next to you.
Philippa, where are you? You're near me.
You can't hear
I can
me,
tell.
can you? It's very weird. Okay. Can you hear me, Kat?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the arrow chest. So a few days. It might have been the day before her. I think it might have been the 17th. But Archbishop Cranmer came to see Anne, and she agreed to an annulment of the marriage. And so no one knows what that conversation contained, but it's possible, probable, that she may have been promised her life, a commutement of a sentence, perhaps to go and live in a nunnery, something like that, in exchange for agreeing to annulment of her marriage, because she immediately then disinherited Elizabeth and bastardized her own daughter
Sorry, I
by
was trying
doing
to chase
so.
the raven.
So she is quite possibly expecting a pardon, as is everyone else at the tower, and that could explain why there's no coffin arranged for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everything else is meticulously planned. You know, whether it's the money to provide for the executioner, the building of the scaffold, the way in which the executioner is treated, everything up until her head comes off her body is planned with precision. I mean, sure, the execution a day late, but that in itself could be part of the plan to flatter her further. So it is weird that it becomes shambolic afterwards, almost like nobody at the tower, or perhaps in the country, expected to get that far. There's only one person who really knew it was going to happen, and that was Henry.
Yeah. So she is. So she is laid to rest somewhere in St Peter ad Vincula. There is a memorial stone to her on the altar, as there is also to Jane Seymour and to Catherine Howard and to a number of other people. But her
Jane
exact
Boleyn.
location, Jane Boleyn, Lady Rochford, but the exact location of her body is not known. But people do at least have a place to go and pay their respects.
Absolutely. Yes.
So. Right. My arm is aching holding my phone.
I think also we have probably extended the signal as much as it's going to get. I think we've been very lucky with this. So it's been short but sweet, friends. Thank you for those who've joined. If you did like what you see, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please do hit the bell icon.
I have
to
a
make sure that,
raven.
you are informed of when we are coming. Thank you, Catherine. Of when we're next going to go live.
A raven.
And we will see you our next live stream. It's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be a pre-record because we are out and about and doing different things. So we will be there something next Wednesday. We're going to be talking about the big man himself, Isambard Kingdom Brunel. As we're on my StreamYard, I haven't got any of the doodads, but yes, we have got an email, historyafterdark2021@gmail.com. We have also got a you can, if you want to support us, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/had podcast. You can also go there to sign up for our close friends, which is on Instagram. It's a place where Catherine tends to put whatever depraved memes she's found that over the week. So it's always good fun. Anything else I need to say? Oh yes, check out our merch store as well, friends.
Cool.
Anything else?
Right, I think we should we leave? No, let's leave everyone to their day, and I need to go back to running my tour because we're here on tour.
Have a lovely rest of your Sunday. See you all soon. Take
See
care.
you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.